Here's the unpopular truth. A smart AI that feels slow can lose to a worse AI that feels instant.
Exactly. Today, this is about inference latency, which is just the time between a user asking the model for something and the model starting or finishing the answer.
So not model training, not abstract speed charts, not lab benchmarks. Just the delay a real person feels.
Right. And users feel that delay hard. They may not know the term latency, but they absolutely know the feeling of, why is this thing making me wait?
And the weird part is, a delay of even a second or two can change the whole mood of the product.
Think about an AI coding assistant in your editor. If you ask for a refactor and it responds almost immediately, it feels like a partner. If it hangs for several seconds on every request, it feels like a blocker sitting between you and your work.
That sounds emotional. But developers tend to think, if the answer is good, users will wait.
Sometimes. But usually users are not grading intelligence in a vacuum. They are trying to stay in flow. Latency breaks flow. Once flow breaks, the user starts multitasking, second-guessing, or abandoning the tool.
So, latency is not just a technical metric. It changes behavior.
Yes, fast responses invite experimentation. Slow responses make users ask fewer questions, shorten prompts, or stop using advanced features, because every attempt carries a waiting cost.
Let's make that concrete. What does that look like outside coding?
Picture a customer support chat. A user asks, "Can I change my flight?" If the AI answers in under a second, the interaction feels conversational. If it stalls for 5 or 6 seconds before each reply, the user assumes the system is confused, untrustworthy, or broken, even if the answer is technically correct.
And once trust drops, now the business has a bigger problem than speed.
Exactly. Slow AI creates doubt. Users start rechecking everything, asking for a human or giving up. That means more support load, lower conversion, and less confidence in the product.
So, why should developers care beyond making users happy?
Because latency affects product strategy. It decides what kinds of experiences are viable. An AI that takes too long cannot sit inside rapid workflows like search, autocomplete, live editing, voice assistance, or real-time moderation.
So, one team ships an AI feature that people actually use 10 times a day. Another team ships a smarter feature that people try twice and avoid.
That is the power shift. Lower latency turns AI into infrastructure. Higher latency turns AI into a special occasion tool. And special occasion tools rarely change user habits.
Give me a practical example a new AI programmer can really picture.
Imagine you are building a meeting notes app. After a call, the user clicks Summarize. If the summary appears quickly, they read it, tweak it, and share it. If they wait too long, they switch tabs, forget, or decide they will write the summary themselves.
So the same feature goes from sticky to skippable based on delay.
Yes, and notice how specific that is. This is not vague performance talk. The consequence is fewer completions, fewer follow-up actions, and weaker adoption of the exact workflow you built.
There's also a cost angle, right? Because developers often chase the biggest model they can get.
Right, and that can backfire. If a larger model improves output a bit, but doubles the weight, users may prefer the smaller model experience. Better on paper can be worse in the product.
That feels like a trap for engineers. You optimize for answer quality, but the market rewards felt responsiveness.
Exactly. Users judge the whole interaction, not just the final text. Speed signals competence. Delay signals friction. In competitive products, that difference separates the tool that becomes habit from the tool that becomes a backup.
So if I'm new to AI, what should I remember when I build?
Start by asking where the user is when they wait. Are they in a flow state, in a hurry, on mobile, in conversation, or making a decision? Latency matters most when the user cannot mentally park the task.
Which means the same 5 seconds can be harmless in one product and fatal in another.
Exactly. For batch analysis, users may tolerate delay. For chat, coding, search, and voice, they often will not. Context decides whether latency is a footnote or a product killer.
So, inference latency is really about whether AI feels like a tool in your hand or a line you have to stand in.
That's the whole game. In AI products, the fastest useful answer often beats the best answer that arrives too late.